Hi guys. I am back with another video. Again, welcome to my channel, Divine Vibes. So this episode that I want to vent about and talk about, I am I've decided to call it Be the Generation That Stops It. And what I mean by that is not every torch is meant to be passed down, whether it's intentionally from the generation before you or non intentionally. I feel like it's important for us to know, especially, speaking for myself, knowing that I want that relationship with God and I want to continue to have that, to be mindful about what's around me, about the influence that is around me from the generations before me, and to decide what I will not accept um, in my generation, nor will I not allow it to be poured down into the generation after me. So we're going to get a little bit more into that. Um, so the Bible, it speaks on generations a few times. You have Genesis, you have Exodus, and you have Psalms, which we're going to get into all of that. Before we do, just a reminder. I feel like, and also a reminder for myself. And even as I was reading these scriptures and things like that, it was a constant, just a reminder going in my head that I feel that each generation has a responsibility as far as passing down faith-based values to the future generation ahead. So we will always, or we will at some point be in position to have that responsibility to pass down. And I feel like for me, um, as a single mom, a mom of a 3-year-old, um, I know that it's important to me personally, just speaking for myself. I know that it's important for me to teach my son about God's work. And that is also something I pray about as well. And to not only be able to teach him about God's word, but also I feel like I have to behave accordingly too. Um, and that that goes for almost anything with me, how I dress, how I carry myself behind closed doors and in public, um, what I say, just watching watching my mouth and things like that, because kids are like sponges, so they suck in everything. I had even told myself, when I went through my nasty divorce, even then, even in the midst of me not healed but going through my healing journey, um, I made um, a promise to myself that regardless of what I was going through, what I was being put through, that I would never speak negative about my child's father in front of my kid, regardless. Because I had the mindset of I still want my child to have that fair chance of getting to know his father for himself, and not by what he hear me saying around the house. And even though I might not be talking to him directly, it's still that he he hears it, and it's sticking with him. So just things like that. Just being mindful how I stand and how I respond to things, even to people who hurted me, because I want to set the best example for my son. And sometimes I have to catch myself, but but I am well aware that I am going to stand on that and not do that and not do that in front of my son. So yes, and I have come a long way, but I still know that I have a long ways to go. And my goal is to just make sure I am the best example, um, and that I behave accordingly, um, as my kid continues to, grow older. So with that being said, we are going to go ahead and start in Genesis. And so that is Genesis chapter 9, verse 12. Okay. And it says, and God said, this is the sign of the covenant, and I am making between me and you and every living creature with you, a covenant for all generations to come. Okay, so with that, I feel like for me, God is speaking on his presence. He's letting us know that his faithfulness continues. And for those who believe, for those who belong to him, that covenant is established. Also feel like with that scripture, he is speaking on eternal legacy. Because we know that generations come and go, but God still stands and he still remains the same. So I like that a lot. The second one, um, Psalms, Psalms 145, 4. So I got my bookmark in here, guys. Give me a second. Here we go. Alrighty. So Psalms 145, 4. Excuse me. One generation commands your works to another. They tell of your mighty acts. Okay. For me, in that, I feel like he speaks on passing down values and faithfulness. That's what I feel like that is telling me, the passing down of faith and values. So for me as a mother, again, I pray around my kid intentionally. I pray around my kid. I pray in general, whether he's in the room, he's not in the room. I know sometimes he's probably like, who is mama talking to? That's fine. But I pray around my kid, and that's something that I do want him to pick up on. And also eventually that is something that I want to teach him. So for me with that, um I have already declared that is something that I am going to take a part of and put that um in my generational legacy. I'll put it like that. In my generational legacy, that's something that I am taking with me to continue to build within myself, to pass on, and I pray that it just continues to pass down. Um, so the next one, I like this one. Exodus, Exodus 25 and 5. Okay, let me get my bookmarks, y'all. Okay, here we go. You should not bow down to them or worship them. For I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, punishing the children for the sin of the parents to the third and fourth generation of those who hate me. Let's talk about it. Here go my little notes, y'all. Let me get this out the way. Okay, so this was the one I really like. This one. So to me, it is letting me know that there is a such thing as generational consequences and blessings. So in verse 5, in particular, where again he said, punishing the children for the sin of the parents to the third and fourth generation of those who hate me. Okay, for me, I feel like that is interpretation, how families allow natural consequences to be passed down. And even in that, the example, a family that has been worshiping idols for generations. 9 times out of 10, you would do the same thing. And I want to say I do feel like, even though that it might not be a direct punishment, like a direct punishment, but because of the outcome, of the family's decisions of making this a tradition, um, I still feel like that it does cause um, that pain in those hard times, for the family as a whole. Um, and I still, even though I look at it as, even though that one may be born into a family of generation that does something like that, or just anything else. Um, let's say I'm gonna just do like an example. I'm gonna use me in it. Not that this is true, or anything, but an example here. Let's say now, me wanting having that relationship with God, um, and continuing to want that relationship with God. And even if that wasn't the thing, I still feel like at the end of the day, it's a choice. We still have that choice, regardless of how generational it is. We have that choice. Somebody's going to have to come to their right mind eventually and be like, this ain't okay. There's got to be some changes in here. And I do know, and I am aware, and I have witnessed seeing people, particular individuals who wanted to put an end to the things that has been going on. And the family kind of shunned them out, or, you know, try to make them feel like they are the black sheep of the family, but you realize it's the the family is the one with the issues. Yeah, you keep going against that foolishness. It's okay. You doing the right thing. Generations, generational curses must be broken. So going back to that example, you know, let's say when I had mentioned before that, all torches are not meant to be, passed down. Okay, let's say that, I grew up in a family and just something happened or whatever, and then, my grandmother has such strong hate feelings towards somebody else because of how she felt like they did them or whatever. And then, of course, the same thing gets poured down the poison. My mama drunk the poison. And then, I'm hearing this stuff. So it's just like there's still this just continuing to be alive because you don't have it in yourself to forgive that person and to ask God to help you to let go and to heal from it. So therefore you hold on to it, and then you point it to the next, and then we just got this generational of just hatred sitting in our hearts towards that person or whoever. It don't even have to be that person, but because you know how to hold a grudge because of what's been taught previously of how you seen your mother feel about somebody, then it begins to make it okay with you and this and that. So what I'm saying is, if I know that that doesn't feel right to me, no, I don't want to. No, I'm not gonna do that. I don't like the way that feel, and or knowing the fact that I say that I have a relationship with God, or that I want a relationship with God. Um, I can't. Um, don't pass that torch to me. I don't need. I don't need that. I don't need it. I don't want that. I don't even want to feel like that because I see what it's doing to y'all. and that's not how I want to be. You can keep that torch. That's my choice. And within that moment that I made that choice, to me, I feel like I have broken that generational curse of the line of hatred and how they carry themselves for feeling the way they feel about people. That torch, don't pass it down. I don't want that cup of poison. I don't want to be taught that. No, that's not how I want to do it, nor is that how I want to bring it to my child. I don't, we go stop it right there. So I feel like, that's my choice. That's my choice of, and within that moment of not wanting to have that passed down to me, that's the beginning of breaking that curse, you know. Um, so it's a choice. I feel like regardless of how generational it is, it's still a choice. And I will tell you, why I feel like it is, it will still be a choice regardless of the generations of it being passed down. Because just know the generational curses can be broken. They can. And I know that because I know that Jesus redeemed us through his sacrifice. And because of that, us as individuals, we must take account of our own sins. So again, going back to, regardless of how generational or how traditional that generation, constantly repeating that cycle over and over again, I have yet a choice to want to continue to carry that or not. And if I choose to, I am still going to be held accountable for that sin. And I just rather not. So therefore, my mama and her mama, y'all can have it. Y'all not about to send me to hell. And not going with you. Not going with you. Not stuff like that. And just with anything, and because I know now, I know better. And because I have taken the time over the time to want this relationship and to spend time with God, even if that was something in real life that I would have been dealing with, just how I'm telling it now is exactly how I would have told them. Y'all can keep it. I'm not doing this with y'all. I'm not doing it. And and you gotta you gotta stand firm on that and be okay with how they feel about you or what they say about you. It's fine because I know that I did the right thing and I broke that generational curse right then. And I know that my baby has a fresh start. I have given my baby that opportunity to have that fresh start and not allowing um not allowing him to be introduced to that poison because my decision was no. So just know again the generational curses, they can be broken, guys. They can be broken. Um, so with that being said, speaking for my family, and the families all over the world, let's pursue generational blessings instead. Okay, let's pursue more of that generational blessings instead. Let's knock out and keep all the consequence, generational consequence. It's time to boot that to the side. It's time to kick that to the back and don't look back. Move forward. Let's gain generational blessings because God's blessings extends for many generations to come. And I believe it. And I believe it. So I feel like I'm doing a good job as a single mother, and regardless again of what I've been through, um allowing God to truly healed me over time, because it's nothing, healing is not done overnight, especially what I went through. And even through all the darkness I went through, I still made the ultimate decision to not be bitter and to not be negative, and to give my baby boy that his own fresh start, get to know his to get to know his father, you know. Um, so that's one. And just, declaring again, as I said before, that praying, that me praying, putting that as part of my generational legacy. That again, that the positivity of the positive things that I want to intentionally pass down to my son. I know that it starts with me. I know that it starts at home. And, I feel like I have come a long way, but yet I know I still have a long way to go. Um, so I'm proud of me. I really am. I'm proud of me. And I just thought that I just share that with y'all. And I feel good about it. I feel good that I got it off my chest. So, woo. Okay. Thank you all for allowing me to vent, to speak on it, to get it off my chest, um, because I needed to, and I, of course, wanted to share that with you guys. So, again, thanks for hanging out with me today on Divine Vibes. Don't forget that you are loved, you are chosen, and God is not done with your story. Talk to you soon.